Every entrepreneur in the world will tell you, fuck a 9 to 5. But I'm here to tell you that actually having one might make it easier on your business journey once you do decide to come down this road. Now, why is that? Having a job taught me a lot of things that I did want and that I didn't want. And in this video, I'm going to show you how, if you have a 9 to 5 right now, how you can use this as your biggest strength when you decide to pull that lever and go 100 miles an hour on that business that you're thinking of starting. Let's get into the video. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest thing that getting a job taught me was to never, ever, 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 ever look up to someone with a 9 to 5 wage, because that is exactly what I was taught to look up to my whole childhood, my whole school journey. Every day when I got home from school and I was with my parents, I come from a middle class background. I'm not at the low class where no one even has good jobs and they're like, oh, fuck the system, all those fucking weird people in the UK. I'm not at that fucking upper echelons where like my mum and dad's had a business already and they wanted to bring me in the biz game. Or I was just in the middle, parents in middle class. You get a fucking job, you work hard, get a pension, get a fucking house, and retire. Maybe a car on the drive, maybe a 20k car on the drive, like type shit. Not like a 100k car, not a 300k car, not multiple cars, maybe one 20 grand car on the drive. And that was the path that was laid out for me. And that was the path which my own brothers were going down. But getting a job and working in a job taught me that these people that are glorified making 100k a year, that's the goal, 100k a year, 100k a year, 100k a year, are just very average, normal people in most cases. You know, some of them can be super smart. They could be running teams. They could be doing X, Y, and Z, but they could be putting that into better use in a business and making shit tons more cash if they actually, maneuvered a little bit differently. However, I'll tell you a story because I don't want to go off tangent at this point. You know, I was working my job. I was putting shit on the shelf. That was what I used to do at Waitrose for 8 hours a day. And one day, the manager came to the store. The manager, not just a manager of the store, not just a manager of, you know, the region. I think it was the manager of like Hertfordshire for Waitrose. And he came in, and everyone was like, "Whoa." Everyone was doing their uniform super smart. Everyone was trying their best to smile as he walked past and say hello and make a good impression of themselves, because apparently this guy earned over 100k a year. That was the rumor. He earns over 100k a year. And my partner, who was on the shelf with me, because when you work in a supermarket, you don't normally just work like an aisle by yourself, or like a section. Like I worked in the fresh section, so there'd be two of us all day just rotating the cages, putting stuff out together to work as a team. And I guess it makes the job a bit more enjoyable than if you was just like sat there alone in your own thoughts all day, which is, to be honest, what I would rather do in that point. I just wanted to be there, think about how fucking shit my life was, and then think about how long the future is going to be and plan what I'm going to do when I get home to make that possible. And that's what I did every day. But when I was working with people on the odd occasion, I'll speak to them, and again, they would always be older than me. I was 19-ish, 19, 20 when I was there, 18, 19, because I stopped in 2022. And they might have been 3, 4 years older than me, finished uni, don't really know what they're going to do with their life next. Maybe go traveling if they save some money from Waitrose. Like, that's what they was doing, and that's why I did not want to go to uni in the first place. And that's a whole other story. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, this manager walked through the store, and the person on the aisle with me said, "Wow, this guy makes 100k a year, if not more. That is crazy." That's what he said to me, word for word. "This guy makes 100k a year or more. That is crazy money." And he was like laughing, like, "That's crazy money." And in my head, I was looking at him like, I don't know what my facial expressions were saying, because my facial expressions, if someone tells me something, my face tells it all. If someone says something that's bullshit, I'm looking at them like, I'm not the kind of guy to smile and be like, yeah, bro, like, yeah, and like faking. I'm just like, so I was probably looking at him something like this. And then I just carried on with my day. Because if someone's going to glorify 100K a year, they're never going to make it. And that's what you're taught. 100K a year, 100K a year, I'm glorifying 100K a year. And then maybe in 50 years' time, you get to that point. But what if you glorified a million a year? What if you glorified 10 million a year? The fact is, you don't actually want to glorify anything. Because if you glorify it, you're putting on a pedestal and you're putting it above your reach, which means it's never going to manifest. It's never going to come into a fruition. If so, you have to work incredibly hard to get it. You have to fight to get it. Whereas if you just know that it's yours, it's coming. I'm already making millions a month. It's coming to me. It's already done. It's just a matter of time. It's just a few actions in between. That's when it starts to come a bit quicker. So getting a 9 to 5 actually taught me the mindset not to have, because I was seeing not just people 3 years older than me, I was seeing people 30 years older than me, even older than 30 years in that same position, working the same job as me, getting the same pay as me, or maybe a pound an hour more because they've got it up over the fucking 30 years they've been at that same company. It taught me the exact mindset not to have. And I just reverse engineered it and done the opposite and fought bigger and made shit happen. So that is one thing that I'm grateful for a 9 to 5. And if you have one right now, use that as your superpower. But you will have to take some mental strength, because you're going to have to literally block out and reverse anything you've been told by your boss, by your colleagues, by your parents, and go and basically do the opposite. And you're going to get looked at weirdly. If you even said what you was thinking out loud, half the time people would have something to say. So just keep it in here, keep it internal, keep it as a fire burning inside you, and use it as your strength. And that's the kind of attitude you need. And that's the attitude that the job gave me. And that's another point, is it will give you that fuck everyone is me against the world type attitude. It will give you that burning fire in your chest like you've never felt it before kind of attitude. When you're at that job and you fucking hate it, but you know you've got to go through it day after day after day after day, unless you do something, because no one's going to come to your job, speak to your boss, get you an extra 300K a year paycheck, maybe move you to a different country where you like, maybe get you a nice watch, or get you some Giorgio Armani clothes, or put you in first class Emirates, like these pajamas that I'm wearing. No one's going to do that. No one's going to do that unless you do it. And that's what I knew, and that's what I did. No one was going to give me this apartment in Dubai. I had to go and get it. I had to figure out a way, step by step, slowly, how to get it. It wasn't an overnight process, but it happened because I had that burning fire and desire in my chest to go and do it in the beginning. That all came from the job. It all came from customers coming up to me and asking me to do random shit, and I'm just looking at them like, bro, why are you telling me what to do? I know why you're telling me what to do. I'm working in this shop. That's what I'm supposed to do. But why are you telling me what to do? Like, it was more like a personal thing for me. Like, I honestly just couldn't take it. I couldn't take customers sending me upstairs to go and check if something was in the fridge. Most of the times, I'll be real, I just went on my phone, sent some outreach to try and sign some clients, come back downstairs, sorry love, there was nothing upstairs in the chiller, have a lovely day, and then just got on with my work. That was what I was doing. I was using, every single little second that I had in between my job. If no one was on my aisle, no manager was around, bound back at the phone, voice notes, trying to sign clients on my break, jumping on calls with clients, trying to close them. That was what we was doing. That's how much I wanted to get out. That's the desire that I had. Most people go on their break and like go on their phone, watch YouTube, like do all that bullshit. I was there trying to fucking hustle. I had a burning desire. Even to this day, I'm still obviously motivated. I'm still obviously trying to do more. I'm still obviously not satisfied. If I was satisfied, I would have stopped a long time ago. Only making a video now, I'd just be chilling. But I wasn't, and I still try and get that same energy that I had back in the day. But I think it's impossible. Hear so many people talk about that, like that trying to like grind. Like obviously I still grind like I'm broke. I do it often. I send all my money out my banks and I just look at the $0 and it pisses me off and I want to get fucking rich again. Not that I don't have the cash, but it's just in an investment fund or doing something else. And it gives me that bit of energy, like grind like you're broke, but you can never get that same feeling, that same level of like work ethic to when you are at zero trying to make it in the beginning. And I hear so many people say about it, and that's what makes me feel like, yeah, all right, that is kind of true. That is something which everyone goes through. So use the energy now and experience it. Don't go through this process and forget it. Remember it. Take all of it in, because bro, I reminisce on the days I was at Waitrose when I was grinding. I reminisce on the days when I first left my job and I was putting in 22-hour days. Even some days like, bro, like 23.5-hour days. You go to bed for half an hour, you wake up, you crack a couple of Red Bulls and you just get to work again. Like those were the kind of hours that we was putting in, and you can see the smile on my face. I wish I was back there sometimes. Obviously now life is good. I'm really fucking happy. After this, I'm gonna go to the yacht club, go by the pool, do some more work, chill. It's a Sunday, already woke up, hit the gym, feeling good, recording a vid, sorting things out with the team, hitting a big week this week. Life's good, but I still reminisce on those days. So make sure you're enjoying that point where you're at right now. Or if you're like in that journey, like just take it in, because guys, you're gonna fucking not wish, but you're gonna look back at those days and think, those were the days. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say before I start waffling so much about working a fucking job is the discipline that it gave me. You know, so many days I woke up or I went to like a party the night before, and I was absolutely hanging over, and I had work at 6 a.m. and I'd still have to get up at 6 a.m. because I wanted to go in. A lot of people would just call in, not really give a fuck. But I had the kind of parents where it's like, if you say you're going to be somewhere at this time, you are there at this time. So I didn't have a choice, or my dad would have backslapped me and got me out of bed and drove me there himself. So honestly, the discipline that I got from working a job is very good. I was always disciplined anyway. Thank you to my parents so much for that, making me always do the sports, making me always go to school. You know, some kids when they're growing up, their parents, I used to actually wish, like, it sounds bad, but I wish I had parents like that in that case, where you could just like pretend you're ill and you don't have to go to school type shit. Or like if it's snowing, your mum wouldn't drive you to school. Or like if you done some, like there was kids where like in my school where like they got a new bike, so their mum let them go off school for a week to ride their bike around town for a week. Like, and I used to think, fuck, like my man's lucky that his parents are just absolutely just letting him do his thing. Like that would be a dream. But now I'm like, those guys are fucking broke. Those guys are failures. I'm pretty sure he's still riding bikes to this day at this big age. And look at me. And look at the other people that had parents that were disciplined and making sure that they get to go into school, doing the right things. If you say you're going to be somewhere, you're there. If you say you're going to train, you're training. All of those things come into play when we're talking about business. And I made another video that you probably see on the channel right now about how sports correlates to business. This is the same how a 9 to 5 correlates to business. You have to be disciplined. You have to work from this time to that time. Now with business, it extends. You don't just work from this time to that time. Often you work from the second you wake up to the second you sleep, but you love the game. You enjoy it. It doesn't even feel like work. I often have to remind myself how hard I actually work, because I hear a lot of people online talk about, oh, I work hard, I work hard. And I look at myself and I'm like, fuck, like I don't think every day that I'm working super hard, but then when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, from the second I woke up to the second I slept, I was working. But it doesn't feel like work anymore because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the life I live, and I live a life that I don't need a vacation from. People hate what they do. They work a job and they work fucking so hard for a month just to have a day off. Or they work super hard for like 9 months just to go traveling for a bit. Like, I don't need a vacation from my life. I work super hard in the hours I work, and then I'm going to go to the yacht club and chill. Then I'm going to go to the mall, get some steps in, maybe buy some Giorgio Armani, maybe fucking go to the gym at the mall while I have my gyms at the mall. Do whatever. I don't need a vacation from my life. I've got my birthday in a month's time. I had an Italy trip booked, Lake Como, 5-star hotel, like very expensive flights. I was going to do something special. Cancelled that shit. Why? I don't need a vacation. Why am I going to Italy, bro? My life's good over here. I don't need to lose momentum. I don't need to fuck off for a bit. I can stay exactly where I am and do my thing and enjoy it probably even better, knowing that I don't have to go to an airport, even if it's a good airport. As I was saying, I might do something special. But the point is, I'm waffling now. So take care, guys. If you have a job right now, don't let it get you down. Use it as fuel. Use it as your biggest advantage. Whatever position you are right now, it's your biggest advantage. Whatever mindset you have right now, you could flip it to your biggest advantage. Whatever situation we're in, let it be a benefit for you. Let it be something which is a tool in your toolkit when you have to get that out and get the fucking shit popping off. So take care. Have a good day. It's been me. Subscribe if you're not. If you don't, who gives a fuck anyway? Take care.